Round three of the Danish Championship in Svendborg. We'll start with the recap of the round. Nikolaj Borge lost to Mikkel Antonsen in a sort of weird game where Mikkel sacrificed some pawns, and it didn't look that correct, but somehow it turned out well for Mikkel, who's back on 50% and Borge is in the cellar. Boris Chatalbashev was winning against Poul Rewitz, but then messed up, and it was a draw. And in the last game, we are not going to look at. Jesper Thybo won with black against Martin Haubro. And I think Haubro had some chances at some point in the game. It was very unclear, but in the end, it was easy for Thybo anyway. But quite nice games. A lot of mistakes in this round, especially in the games we're going to look at, which was sort of a parody of errors. In this position, I am black against Jens Ove Fries-Nielsen, who has played one of his weird systems, and I did rather well for a while, and then I'm sort of messed up and played too passively. But here I'm clearly better with black. And but I was also getting tired, and we're past move 40 here, and I'm an old man, and here I thought I saw a forced win, which unfortunately is not there for some weird reasons. In this position, the move Rook e3 is more or less winning. It seems the computer really likes black's position. It looks very natural, just invading with the rooks and getting ready for stuff like that. There's a lot of pressure, and the knight might come in. But I thought I could play this move, which looks very nice, hitting this guy here, hitting this guy here. Unfortunately, after this move, taking here queen c3 is rather unclear because there is a mate here. But I had seen something that I thought would win by force. So that I played instantly, which is always a mistake. Queen a7 looks very smart, attacking the pawn. c5 is forced. He has to cover the pawn. If I allow to take with the queen, then there's no mate on d7. Take, queen b8, getting back, and it looks nice here. It's covering the back rank. There's something here, and I thought after this move, well, this wins. So that's what I played rather fast. And after this move, I realized that the planned rook e2 is met by queen f4. So now I'm dead lost. I played queen g3, and it was like this. And of course, Jens Ove should win this, but he was getting low on time and was tired. So somehow it ended in a draw. I don't know really what to think of it, but maybe it's a fair result because I was winning at some point, and and this of course is lost. I had to try, and if I can get my pawns going, I'm not lost. The thing is, he has something like that, which is a bit unpleasant. Um, and well, to be honest, we took a draw here. That was a nice gesture from Jens Ove, who doesn't like to play with very little time, and it is unpleasant. Also, if my king goes up the board, it might win some pawns and make some mating net. So that was maybe a fair result. But to be honest, this move, knight takes g5, is a disaster. After a move like this, black is still for choice, but it's not so much. This square here is a big of a problem. The alpha zero square, you can call it, and I'm not really unhappy about it. So rook e3 would have just been good and probably winning. The computer says plus 3.5 or something. So that was very stupid and a clear sign that I only have energy for one game, and that's definitely not enough to win a tournament like the Danish Championship. So that's a problem, to be honest. That's a really big problem. Okay, let's get on with the real important game. The two joint leaders with 2 out of 2, Lars Schandorff and Rasmussen, and they had an interesting game. Schandorff is white and goes d4. This is his main opening move, and Allan shows that he's here to fight. f5, the Dutch. Bishop f4, and that's interesting. That's sort of the London system against the Dutch, and it's not so bad. It's not so bad. And here I think Black should play g6. That must be the correct move. e6, I don't like it that much. This old school Dutch setup is making this square weak, and this bishop on e7 is rather passive. So I think g6 must be the correct move. I'm not an expert, but anyway. But Allan has played the old time Scots with something like Queen e8 and Bishop d8 and something like that, even with white. So he knows this stuff very well. Queen e8, Bishop e2, Bishop bd7 also looked a bit suspicious. And here I would suggest, like the computer says, c5 for white, and I think white is simply clearly better. Yes, nice pressure, good squares, no weaknesses. He can castle either side. He's definitely for choice here. And I would say that if Black has to play like this, then this looks like a very good idea against the Dutch, because the computer just says +1 after c5. Anyway, my computer, an old computer, not some cloud stuff. Anyway, h6 also looks weird. And again, I would suggest c5. Come on, this is why you put the bishop here. Queen c2. Okay, this might be a switch of plans. And here, white is maybe planning g4, b6, and that's why I don't like, because bishop h2 is weird, because if you want to play g4, you want your bishop on f4. So its knight doesn't hit the bishop on g2. So white castles, and that's just so that getting b6 was a nice achievement for white, because for black, because c5 is off the table for a little while here. King h8, and of course black is actually getting ready to rumble here with g5, g4, and let's see what's going on the king side. So white sort of panics and plays e4. It's you can't say it's panic, because there's definitely interesting pressure on e6, and take and knight h5. And here something really weird happens, because white is better here for sure. But there is knight f4. What was that? So Schandorff does this, which of course black, anyone playing the Dutch would play, or the French for that matter, will just take that no matter what. You gotta take that. That's gotta go. This exchange sacrifice is just so obvious. It's just it there's no other ideas. And Queen f8, and here they start playing really weird, because I don't think black has enough compensation. What about something like Queen e2 and Queen e3, or Rook e1, Rook e3, or something? It's just, I'm not so impressed. White has a lot of maneuvers, and he should be ready to try and attack on the white squares. f4, that's okay. White wants to give back a pawn for the exchange, and then play something like Queen d2, Queen e3, and get the king side together. And here black completely blunders with d5, and that's a really strange move, both because it blocks this diagonal here, which was sort of the triumph of black's game, but also because it's losing by force in a tactical way. Take, and here white has many moves that are good. You can play knight d3 is good according to the computer. Knight d5 is maybe the best move. That looks a little weird, so that demands an explanation. But the most simple move here would be queen c6, hitting the rook and hitting the pawn, and just getting ready for some nice things on the white squares. There's also some ideas with queen g6, and here black is simply lost. There's nothing at all. It's just if you take here, white will take with the queen and threatening mate here, and then get the rook afterwards. So it's just dead. There's nothing, no attack, nothing. So, well, Schandorff instead played knight c3, which was not the best move. And but okay, this kind of game is a bit unfair to the players, because having the computer analyzing for you is a big help, because no human would ever play these positions completely correctly. It's just not possible. It's simply too difficult. Knight f4, king h1, also a little bit weird. Knight e6, and here comes a really horrible move, and then it's suddenly just a disaster. White should play f3 here, bolstering this diagonal, and we have a real fight ahead. I will prefer black, I think, but it will be an interesting fight. But f4 is just a catastrophic move, and after knight takes d4, queen f2, knight f5, black has all the triumph. He's now positionally better. He has maybe some move like this, but he also have bishop coming here, and this is gonna be decisive for the game. So white took, but that's just bishop c5, getting out of the way, queen c2, and the diagonal is not long enough. Rook e8, bishop d2, queen f7, and we see that this dominant knight here is gonna be funny. This bishop here is, well, not so funny. Rook 81, and here black to move and win, and it's not that difficult though, but it's rather nice, to be honest. It plays bishop d4, blocking the knight, and the knight have to go, and then there's knight e3, and if you don't go with the knight, well, then what? Queen c4 b5 is just doesn't help at all. So, and queen takes c7, then white can even consider queen takes. No, not queen takes, then queen takes, bishop takes. Okay, rook takes, knight takes, queen c4, c5 next, and b5 is coming up, and white doesn't even have material anymore. He's actually behind with a pawn, so he resigned here, and Allan is in the lead with 3 out of 3 and looking very good, even though this d5 is a bit shaky there. Anyway, this was the recap of round 3 of the Danish Championship. In just 1 hour and 20 minutes, round 4 will start, and I'll play white against Lars Schandorff. Thank you for watching.